I never really thought about the 3 different ways to use essential oils until until they introduced the whole Serenity system. But I think the combination of aromatic, topical, and internal is a game changer and has really helped me because I do tend to struggle with falling asleep.
Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey, Heather. So what are we popping open today?
We are going to pop open a conversation about our nighttime routines. So a couple weeks ago, I believe it was episode 180, we did a conversation about our morning routines. And it was fun to see for how many similarities you and I have. We also have very many differences.
For sure. Yeah. And a big part of that is just the people in our household and what stage of life we're in. So why don't you go first?
Well, speaking of stages of life, we are in the busy activity stage. And so both kids are involved in afternoon, evening activities, which puts us both going separate directions, my husband and I, to get a kid somewhere, pick a kid up from somewhere. By the time we get home, it is 8 o'clock at night. And for how much we would love to eat an early evening dinner, to have time to maybe go for a walk or watch TV together, that's not an option right now. So whoever gets home first gets to start the meal. And by the time we get done eating, it's probably 8:20, 8:30. And then it's already getting close to time for bed. We get up early in the morning. So kids get a few minutes to just kind of decompress and then brush teeth and get ready for bed. So we usually get them to bed around 9 o'clock. And my daughter insists on having her peace roller and her calmer roller to help her unwind and get ready for bed. And so that is definitely part of our nighttime routine for them.
I'm curious, do you do that like right after dinner or do you do that as she's climbing into bed?
Climbing into bed, more just because it's in her room. And so it's just easy for her to apply right to her wrist or chest right as she's getting into bed. So it probably does take a few extra minutes to actually become effective. But at the same time, that's part of her actual nighttime routine. So I think the pattern of that works well for her. Mm-hmm. So then my husband and I get maybe 30, 45 minutes to sit on the couch and hang out, watch TV, whatever. And then it's time for me to go to bed because I know that I need sleep. And so I cannot stay up late and then also get up early. My bedtime routine is usually to shower at night. So I've got the doTERRA shampoo, conditioner. I love the body wash. And then I use the Beverage face cleanser in the shower. And then I brush my teeth with the On Guard toothpaste at night. And I've switched now to following your routine of spearmint or supermint? What is it now?
Supermint.
Okay. I do the supermint in the morning and the On Guard at night because even though I love the supermint taste, honestly, now that I've been switching back and forth, I feel like I can taste the flavor of the On Guard more now that I'm only doing it once a day versus when I was doing like the same toothpaste every day. So love the alternating.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah. So for those who don't know, the reason why I do it that way is because the supermint like really does wake me up. It's invigorating. And so doing that at night just makes it even harder to fall asleep. So yeah.
I wasn't struggling to fall asleep. I just loved the flavor, but I do like the benefits that come with the On Guard too. And so it actually has been really a nice change to kind of alternate. So that works well for me. And then I put on my face moisturizer, which we've talked about before, is the Glow Blend. If you look way back on episode 16 with Blue Tansy, we give the actual recipe, which originally was 20 drops of yarrow palm, 20 drops of frankincense, 10 drops copaiba, 3 to 4 drops blue tansy, and then topped off with rose hip oil. My recipe has evolved over time. Honestly, I kind of dump a little bit of whatever I feel like would be beneficial on my face into my little glass container. So that's the basic recipe, but I add to it. And then for application of like my sleepy oils, I do the same routine every single night. A long time ago, vetiver was part of that, but I have transitioned to cedarwood probably about 6 months ago, and that's kind of my nightly now. So cedarwood goes along my forearm, and then I take a Serenity soft gel, and then I absolutely love the Serenity stick on the bottoms of my feet right before I climb into bed. It's so soft, it smells so good, and I feel like my body just kind of looks forward to it.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's it. And then I fall asleep. I fall asleep so quickly. And in the morning, it's time to get up and do it all over again.
Awesome. Well, for me, our evenings vary as well, just based on what we have going on that night. But in general, I think the key thing for me with bedtime routine is I kind of shared this in routine episode as well. I'm super sensitive to light. And so as the sun goes down, I really am conscious of lighting in the house and having soft lighting. And so just a little bit of the science behind that. Our eyes are actually what help our body produce melatonin. And so our eyes also let in light, and it signals to the brain whether or not it's time to go to bed or not. So in the evening, as the sun goes down, we don't do overhead lights. If my husband had his way, we'd have overhead lights. But because I have now done this for a few years, it really disrupts my sleep and my ability to fall asleep if I'm in overhead lights. It takes me a good 2 hours of low lights to be able to get my body ready and my brain ready to turn off and go to sleep. So low lights is probably the first step for me in nighttime routine. And obviously I don't have control of that always. So like if we are going to friends' houses and they've got overhead lights, and I just know it's going to take me a lot longer to be able to fall asleep. So do the best I can when I can, and, still live life as best I can when I can't do that. But that would be my first thing. And then an hour before I plan on going to sleep, both my husband and I will have what we call our hot drinks. And so for him, it's generally some type of sleepy time tea. For me, there is a magnesium powder that I really like. And so I will have that. And again, that's just like helping set us up for sleep and kind of preparing for that.
Does your magnesium powder have a taste?
It does. Yeah,
Okay.
The one that I like, it has, I think it's like raspberry lemon taste, but it's not super strong. And I think part of it too is just the, like having a warm drink to sip on too. So it's kind of routine, but also magnesium definitely helps with sleep as well. So there's that. And then we go upstairs, and even in my bathroom, I now have basically a little lamp so that I've got the low light, because overhead lights in the bathroom will wake me up again. So doing everything low light. I guess before I go into the bathroom, I always set up my diffuser first. So my favorite combo in the diffuser is Breathe and Serenity, or Breathe and lavender oil, but I'll fill up both of those. And I have the diffuser that is a humidifier, and I think that really helps with sleep too, and cuts down on snoring and stuff like that. So love that. I get that set up really so that I then go into the bathroom, close the door, and when I come out of the bathroom and open it, it's so nice to just smell that, strong scent coming towards me. It's not strong, but also soothing scent coming towards me. In the bathroom, I try to remember to take a Serenity pill as soon as I go in there before I start brushing my teeth and washing my face, because it does take about 30 minutes to be effective. And again, as you can probably tell at this point, shutting down my brain is a lot of work. So I need all these steps to be working together. So if I remember, I will take the Serenity pill and then brush my teeth. I do the On Guard toothpaste at night, as we already established. I wash my face, and then I go to my bedroom, and I use a Serenity stick as well. I don't put it on the bottom of my feet. I do occasionally, but I really like it. I put it on my wrist. I put it on my inside of my elbow, I guess. There's something about the thin spaces, the areas where your skin is thinner, it absorbs even better. So I do it there. I do it right behind my ears. I've recently started putting it along my chest as well because I saw Emily Wright do that. And I'm like, okay, sure. Let's do that as well. And I feel like it's moisturizing. And so again, that's thinner skin as we age. So let's moisturize that as well. And then I read a book. And hopefully at some point we'll fall asleep and stay asleep. But that's my nighttime routine.
I love reading before bed, and that's a place that you and I vary too, because I tend to do fiction before bed, and I think you do nonfiction.
Me too. I only do fiction before bed. Yeah.
Oh, okay, before bed. Okay. But I feel like recently our nights have been so long that if I'm going to read even for 10 minutes, it's just eating into my sleep time. And so I feel like certain nights I will try to get in at least a few minutes, but other nights it's just like, nope, I literally have to lay down and just start trying to go to bed.
Yeah. No, again, I need that to turn my brain off. And that's why I stopped reading nonfiction, because nonfiction turns on my brain. So yeah, I only read fiction at bedtime unless it's like a really good book. And then it's Sundays where I allow myself to do whatever because I can get carried away with a good book. But yeah, at bedtime, it has to be fiction, because if it's nonfiction, then I will go into like business planning mode or whatever. And I don't need that. Yeah. Well, anything else on nighttime routines?
I think it's fun to hear what different people do and how you set yourself up for success. Or for some people, I know they struggle with, getting to bed. And so hopefully between the two of us, we've given somebody a tip of how they can improve their situation.
Yeah. And I definitely think, I never really thought about the 3 different ways to use essential oils until doTERRA until they introduced the whole Serenity system. But I think the combination of aromatic, topical, and internal is a game changer and has really helped me, because I do tend to struggle with falling asleep, and making sure I've got those 3 pieces in place is huge for me. So, and it doesn't have to necessarily be with a diffuser, the topical, because just putting it on your skin, you're still smelling it. Or sorry, not topical, the aromatic. Yeah. But I think the diffuser just makes it even better. So I want to just throw that out there for anybody who does struggle with sleep. Try doing that combo, because it really makes a difference.
And they sell that as a kit. The Serenity kit, you get the bottle of oil, the soft gels, and the stick. Yeah, so you can buy them each individually, but just buying it as a kit will allow you to kind of try that whole system.
Yeah, and you save a little bit of money. I will say the products don't last the same amount of time. I feel like the stick lasts really long, but even that, it's still cheaper to buy it all together than to buy them individually. And the stick makes an awesome gift. So I just stock up on the sticks and now have an easy birthday gift or whatever to give friends when I need something. So recommend doing that. All right. Well, we hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or want to share your nighttime routine, reach out. Let us know. Share with us on any of our social media sites. We'll have posts about this as well. So we would love to interact with you and find out what you do for your nighttime routine. So thanks so much for listening. We'll have a brand new episode next week.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.